every passing hour brings more uncertainty, more heartbreak.
So much pain being felt right now in Myanmar and here hundreds of miles away in Bangkok, where the around-the-clock search through that pile of rubble continues. People are here holding out hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll find somebody who's still alive in all of that, even though as each hour passes, that becomes less and less likely.
Viewers, who is opposing the Waqf Amendment Bill the most? Look carefully. Look at the pictures on your screens, and you will find that it is the so-called, quote, inclusive, secular, unquote, parties like the Congress, the RJD, the Samajwadi Party, the TMC, and even some self-declared Muslim welfare-focused parties like the MIM, led by Asaduddin Owaisi. Most of these parties ruled at the center for decades before the BJP even came close to smelling power. If these parties were so inclusive, so committed to minority welfare, by now, India's Muslims would have been one of the most well-placed communities in the country. But the reality is, as you all know, quite different. Let me point out to you the findings of the Sachar committee that submitted its findings in 2006. Yes, way back in 2006, well before Modi was even a contender for Prime Ministership. The Sachar committee that was appointed by the UPA found that Muslims were the least educated, the least likely to be skilled enough to find white-collar jobs, and among the poorest communities in India. The committee had blamed these very secular parties, the RJDs, the Congress, the SP, the BSP, for the plight of the Muslims. Today, when the Modi government is on the cusp of bringing in a major reform in the shape of the Waqf Amendment Bill that could transform the lives of Muslims once again, it is this so-called secular bloc that is agitating the most. Why? Why don't they want Muslims to do well? Fundamental question. Because they fear educated Muslims, empowered Muslims. They know that a more independent, literate Muslim community will not be that pliable and therefore difficult to groom into a vote bank. If you don't believe me, or experts who say this, and who also say that the Waqf Amendment Bill can have a transformational impact on the Muslim community, then hear what mainstream Muslim leaders have to say about the proposed Waqf Amendment Bill, which will be tabled in the next few days, from what we are being told now, in Parliament. Here, viewers, is Haji Sayyid Salman Chishti, the chairman of the Ajmer Dargah Foundation. He wrote an article in which he says, and I quote, "Waqf has the potential to transform socio-economic conditions of the Muslim community through the creation and maintenance of schools, hospitals, libraries and other charitable institutions. The board has been thus far hampered by mismanagement and lack of transparency. The amendment bill will change this," unquote. Now viewers, this is a Muslim clergy member, one of the most influential mainstream Muslim clergy members, and he is saying the Waqf Amendment Bill will change the condition in which Muslims find themselves in today. Indeed, the Sachar committee itself made a very strong case for reforms. It said if existing Waqf Act, and I always bring you the facts, viewers, and they're going to be on your screens now. The Sachar committee said, if existing Waqf Act is perfect, then why did the Sachar committee note that better management could mean annual income from registered Waqf properties could go up from 163 crores to 12,000 crores? Viewers, another big question, why doesn't the ecosystem that says that they want Muslims to progress, why doesn't this same ecosystem then want to back reforms that a Minority Affairs, Ministry Affairs survey report says would enable Waqf to generate not 12,000 crores as Sachar committee had pointed out, but 20,000 crore for Muslim welfare? The more the money, the more it can be spent on schemes targeted at Muslims. Isn't it true that the Waqf amendment would allow many unrepresented Muslim sects to be part of the board so that they can have a say in managing their endowments? A large number of sects, viewers, in our country donate to the Waqf board, but they don't have a say in managing their donations. So should the Waqf board, viewers, be a small coterie of a couple of sects that control everything? Why should that be the case, viewers? If these secular parties are so inclusive, why don't they want to see inclusivity at work? Why is it that in the present circumstances, Waqf boards have next to zero backward classes or women's representation? These political parties constantly talk about backward classes and how they should be empowered, a caste survey. Here is a chance to increase OBC representation exponentially on the Waqf board. But no, viewers, they are opposing the amendment. how can parties that call themselves secular oppose the entry of non-Muslims in a statutory body? They say that they swear by the constitution, they say they are secular, but they want, viewers, a body that is set up by parliament not to include people from other communities. Yet they have a problem with CAA, which didn't include Muslims. It's all contradictory, viewers. It's opportunistic, this opposition. If the Allahabad High Court has ruled that the duty of a muttawali is purely of a secular character, how can anyone say appointment of non-Muslims to board is communal? Don't understand it. In fact, because many Muslims have seen through the propaganda, they didn't even bother to join in the black arm band anti-Waqf bill Eid protest called by the Congress, AIM and other so-called secular parties. Viewers, except for a few party members of the AIM, many hundreds and thousands of Muslims did not sport a black band. It has flopped. Most strikingly, even the church, another minority institution, has backed the Waqf Amendment Bill. A cardinal, the main person of the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council, has said, and I quote, "When the Waqf Bill is taken for debate in Parliament, the people's representatives from Kerala should vote in favour of amending the sections which are unfair and anti-constitutional," unquote. Most worryingly, for the opposition, a plethora of secular BJP allies like the JDU, and you can see it on your screens, these are all hard facts, viewers, like the JDU, the TDP, LJP, RLD, parties that don't blindly support BJP, viewers. For example, on Muslim reservations, all these parties support Muslim reservations to the hilt. In some cases where they were in power, they even passed legislation. So JDU, TDP, LJP, RLD, NCP, JDS, the HAM and several others are backing the amendment bill. Some of these parties, viewers, are facing elections in Bihar coming up. And you know that there are a number of Muslims in Bihar that have a very critical role in declaring who the winner is there. So they are not going to alienate just for the sake of the BJP. The widespread backing among secular parties totally takes the sting out of the opposition charge that the move to amend the old Waqf law is a communal attempt at undercutting Muslim interests. Viewers, let's open this up because we need to have an honest conversation tonight. We have the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sanju Verma. We also have with us political analyst Vivek Srivastava, Ashutosh Mishra, who's a senior journalist. He's right there. And I want to first begin with you, Mr. Ashutosh Mishra. Secular parties, the church, mainstream Muslim groups are all supporting the Waqf Amendment Bill, except for the Congress. The Congress that the Sachar Committee itself accused of perpetuating circumstances to shackle Muslims to poverty. Is that what you want, sir? Forever in your servitude?
First thing about the Christian bishop that you were quoting, that is more of a land dispute in Kerala, where the church has taken a stand that if the Waqf is weakened, they might win a court case. It's a simple land dispute. And that BJP is thinking that it's like enemy of an enemy is a friend. No, they won't, because the same churches have in the past accused BJP. And in fact, in Kerala, Palakkad itself, BHP had opposed Christmas. So let's keep two things apart.
No, but hang on. There is a contradiction in what you're saying. If you're saying they're worried about their property, their own church property being grabbed, it means that the Waqf bill...
No,
1 second.
No,
let me finish now. Don't read my mind. It's not fair. I don't play my cards that easily, sir. I keep them close to my chest. Now listen and pay attention to what I'm saying. Mr. Mishra, people are actually scared that as of now, the draconian powers that are with the Waqf not only hurt the interests of the Hindu community, but also other minorities. So you answered the question. The Waqf Act as it stands today is draconian. The government is trying to make it more equitable and definitely corruption free, so that Muslims get what they deserve. Can you forget about, okay, Take the church out of the equation. What about the JDU? What about the other political parties, the LJP? What about the TDP? What about the NCP, sir? They don't support the BJP blindly of every other situation. Why are they supporting them on the Waqf Amendment Bill? They have Muslim votes to lose.
For that, you will JDU and TDP will answer in the will get the reply in the when the elections are held.
Yes.
Whether
and the BJP is a foolish party. Are you saying that they contest elections to lose them? They want to shoot themselves in the foot? Come on, sir. It makes no sense.
First of all, if you let me complete, then only you will get the sense of what
I just want to ask you, if so many Muslims were agreed, why did your protest fail? How is it that no Muslims? No, hang on. How is it that hundreds and thousands of Muslims did not wear, on a day they were asked to wear, a black armband? Simple question, Mr. Ashutosh Mishra. Simple. Let's keep it basic.
OAC does not have the sort of support that he thinks that he has, and in most of the cases he's seen more as a vote katwa, that's it. Coming to Waqf bill as such, why people are opposing it is you talk about placing officers appointed by the government, and the way Modi government has performed, it's not very exciting and encouraging for people to believe that its officers appointed by it will help in growth. We have seen what has happened to Indian middle class under Modi regime, and that is what is scaring other people also.
Okay, there are many different. You're clutching at straws tonight. There is a pink straw, there is a blue straw, there is a yellow straw, and in the middle of all of this, you have even rubbished the AIMM. So secular bloc today is fighting amongst themselves, viewers, so-called secular bloc. I can't believe this. Anyhow, okay, you've opened up. You've said, number one, AIMM is opportunistic, not a credible party, therefore no one has supported them. The Congress made a similar appeal for protest, viewers. Many hundreds and thousands of Muslims haven't joined in. Thirdly, viewers, you've had a situation where a Muslim notable, one of the biggest mainstream leaders has come out, Sanju Verma, has come out and back this amendment bill. Is he also against his community's interests? Is he also a paid member of the BJP? Is he also, now viewers, compromised? Is he also sellout?
You know, Rahul, first and foremost, I have always disagreed with Ashutosh Mishra, but today I have to admit I am taken aback. Him calling Asaduddin Owaisi as a vote katwa was music to my ears. But on a more serious note, let me just say this, that, the Waqf Amendment Act, first and foremost, everybody says this is a unilateral move by the Modi government. Stakeholders were not taken into confidence. That is a whole lot of balderdash. More than 38 sessions, more than 112 hours spent, a 655-page note, more than 287 dissent notes, more than 287 suggestions. So I think the Waqf Amendment was discussed threadbare under the aegis of Jagdambika Pal, by the way, who was a Congress member of parliament for the longest time before he moved over to the BJP. But that is not relevant to the discussion at this point. My simple point is this. You have, more than 56 Islamic countries, from Pakistan, Afghanistan to Algeria, Nigeria, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, UAE, so on and so forth. Even so-called rabid Islamic nations which have Islam as their state religion do not have an act as draconian as Waqf, where under Section 3, if the Waqf decides that Rahul Shiv Shankar or say Ashutosh Mishra or the land on which Sanju Verma's house is built belongs to the Waqf, no questions asked, that land will be transferred to the Waqf board. And what do Section 39 and 40 say? Not just the land. If the Waqf decides that the house Rahul Shiv Shankar is staying in, or Sanju Verma is staying in, or Vivek Srivastava is staying in, that belongs to the Waqf. Suo motu, no questions asked, that property or residential estate or commercial estate will be transferred to the Waqf. And it does not stop there. Section 80, 82, 83, 85 of the Waqf say that the Waqf disputes cannot be referred to any court in the country, which means Waqf is a law unto itself. A Waqf dispute cannot be referred to the district court, the sessions court in India, the High Court or the Supreme Court. And what is the Modi government saying? I think one of the biggest amendments which has set the cat among the pigeons is the fact that now we are saying that there will be a deputy commissioner or a district commissioner or a district magistrate or a subdivisional magistrate who will look into a Waqf dispute, because this country is governed by the law of the land, not by the Sharia. And this is what has completely rattled the ecosystem, apart from two other amendments where we are saying a government property or government land cannot be encroached upon by Waqf, no matter what the reason. And if you want to claim land under Waqf, you have to be a practicing Muslim for at least 5 years. Tell me, what is wrong with these amendments?
See, so Sanju Verma has given us a point-by-point breakup of these amendments and their impact and how they will bring the Waqf Act into line with the basic structure of the Constitution. That's fabulous. But viewers, these political parties that we are talking about, the Congress Party, the TMC, the others, they are on another tangent altogether. They are saying that, you see, Muslims are going to be discriminated using all of, they'll be alienated from their properties and so on and so forth. That's what they are saying. And viewers, fundamentally, and let me bring in the MIM spokesperson, Mr. Hassan. Mr. Hassan, Eid Mubarak aapko. I have to ask you a question. When did Sachar Sahab join the BJP? Can you tell me which year Sachar joined the BJP?
Nobody told from MIM this and nobody is telling.
No,
it is your narrative and I don't know.
No, I'm asking you, did Mr. Sachar ever join the BJP?
Everybody, no, I don't know about it.
No, he doesn't. No, I'll tell you the answer, viewers. The hard facts are always here.
No, I know. You will tell about
second.
Sachar Commission report.
मेरी बात तो सुनिए सर, मेरी बात तो सुनिए।
आप Sachar Commission
report आज तो मेरी बात सुन लीजिए सर, आज तो ईद है, आज तो लड़िए मत। मेरी बात तो सुनिए। आपको मैंने एक सवाल पूछा है, आपने उसका जवाब दिया कि मुझे पता नहीं, तो मैं बता रहा हूँ व्यूअर्स को कि उनको कोई गलत फहमी ना हो। I don't want the viewers to think that a rhetorical question of mine is a factual question. So I am making it very clear. Mr. Sachar never joined the BJP, viewers.
Yes, this reality.
Let me finish, Mr. Hassan, please. थोड़ी मेरी भी तो सुन लीजिए ना. आज के दिन तो सुन लीजिए, अगले 364 डेज आप ना सुनिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. मगर आज तो सुन लीजिए. आज तो भाईचारे का दिन है. देखिए. Viewers, ठीक है, बस फिर great. So viewers, look. Sachar committee said. I haven't said this. Sachar committee, appointed by the UPA, pointed a finger at the Congress, pointed a finger at the UPA and said, because of you, the Waqf amendment, because of you, the unamended Waqf, the Waqf as it exists today, is littered with infractions, with anomalies. And guess what? Because of you, he said to the Congress and his government that appointed him, he said that as of today, all the income coming from the Waqf properties because of the mismanagement was only 163 crores. This is when he was talking in 2006, viewers. It could be 12,000 crores. And Manmohan Singh ji, you speak about giving the first resources of the state. You don't even have to do that. Because if you did a good job of managing the Waqfs, if you eradicated and brought in reforms, that money would go up to 12,000 crores and you could spend it on Muslim welfare. Now, sir, I want to ask you, Hassan Sahab, and it's a very simple question. Why are you against a cleanup of the Waqf board? आपको क्या मिल रहा है? कोई कट मिल रहा है?
सर, सबसे पहले आप जो बोले कि अकबर ओवैसी साहब फ्लोर लीडर एमआईएम के, उन्होंने विधानसभा में उठाया कि एसआईटी बने, वक्फ का जो पूरे तेलंगाना में इंक्रोचमेंट है, उस इंक्रोचमेंट को खत्म किया जाए। बैरिस्टर असदुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब लगातार ये मुद्दा उठाते हैं। संजू वर्मा राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता है, भाजपा की झूठ पे झूठ बोल रही है कि वक्फ ट्रिब्यूनल को कोई चैलेंज नहीं कर सकता। इस देश में 14 ट्रिब्यूनल है, मोटर व्हीकल है, एनजीटी है, रेलवे ट्रिब्यूनल है, सबको हाई कोर्ट में रिव्यू पिटीशन सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जा सकता है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी चैलेंज और हाई कोर्ट में हो सकता है। ट्रिब्यूनल का चेयरमैन चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ स्टेट उसको अपॉइंट करता है और उसको कोई आम शरीयत कोर्ट से नहीं चलता है। और वक्फ बोर्ड का जो ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी, जो ऑफिसर सीईओ होता है, वो ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी रैंक का ऑफिसर होता है। और आज काला पट्टी के लिए ना ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड ने कहा था, ना AMIM ने कहा था। आप सुबह 9 ही बजे आपने गलत न्यूज चलाया कि आज अलविदा जुमा के दिन हमने कहा था, और पूरे देश में, पूरे हिंदुस्तान में उसका प्रोटेस्ट हुआ, और पूरी दुनिया में वक्फ है, मदीना में वक्फ है, मक्का में वक्फ है, पूरी दुनिया में वक्फ है। वक्फ का मतलब एक संपत्ति अब गरीबों के लिए, कल्याणकारी योजनाओं के लिए ये दिया जाता है हर जगह,
मगर वो इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा, इसीलिए तो संशोधन की जरूरत है, क्योंकि हो नहीं रहा, और आप वही चाह रहे हैं कि वो ना हो। तो सवाल ये बनता है हसन साहब कि आप क्यों रेजिस्ट करते हैं? आपको मुस्लिम वेलफेयर नहीं चाहिए, आपको बैकवर्ड कास्ट नहीं चाहिए वक्फ बोर्ड के अंदर, आपको लेडीज की मुस्लिम लेडीज की पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं चाहिए।
पहले से
क्या वो पढ़ाए रहे? कहां है सर? क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप मुझे 4 नाम दे दीजिए, दिल्ली वक्फ बोर्ड में लेडीज, 4 लेडीज का नाम दीजिए मुझे दिल्ली वक्फ बोर्ड पे, 4 लेडीज का नाम। अब छोड़िए, रिस्पॉन्ड कीजिए,
बिहार में रही है, बिहार में 2 लेडी रही है। ये झूठ बीजेपी का प्रोपेगेंडा है कि नहीं रहती है
मैडम। 1 सेकंड मैडम, 1 सेकंड मिस्टर हसन, दिस इज नॉट बीजेपी, दिस इज सच्चर कमिटी सेइंग इट।
नो, सच्चर कमिटी नेवर shows
please Google Sachar committee right now, see the recommendations. What are you talking, sir? Please. Yes, Sanju Verma wants to respond. Sir, one lady you put there for symbolic reasons. One lady you put there. Tomorrow you say that Rahul Shishankar is lying about the underrepresentation of women in parliament. Do you know the numbers? 9% women in parliament when it should be 33%. Anyhow, yes. आप ठीक है सर, आप ही सच बोल रहे हैं, इसीलिए आपके साथ ना RJD खड़ा है, ना JDU खड़ा है, ना आपके साथ ना LJP खड़ा है, ना JDU खड़ा है, ना TDP खड़ा है, ना आपसे JDS भी खड़ा नहीं है आपके साथ, कोई नहीं खड़ा, कोई नहीं, सिर्फ आप ही खड़े हैं सर मैदान में। एनीहाउ, संजू वर्मा, यस, दिख रहा है सर।
अभी भाई साहब, मैंने आपको एक बार भी नहीं टोका, आपने बोला संजू वर्मा झूठ बोल रही हैं। I know one thing, I never come on. Can I please finish now? Please hold your horses. पहली बात, मैं बिना डेटा के और बिना तथ्यों के कभी किसी डिबेट पर नहीं आती, खासकर राहुल शिवशंकर की डिबेट पर।
हसन साहब, मैं आपका वॉल्यूम नीचे कर रहा हूं, 1 2 3 प्लीज लेट लिसन टू हर। आपने आरोप लगाया उन पे, वो अपनी सफाई दे रही है, आप उसके बाद चैलेंज कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, आपने आरोप लगाया, अभी सत्य सुनने की हिम्मत रखिए। आई एम रीडिंग आउट सेक्शन 85 of the Waqf Act of 1995 mandates the establishment of Waqf tribunals by state governments to address disputes related to Waqf property. These tribunals, are considered civil courts and have the same powers as civil courts under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Section 85 of the Waqf Act bars any civil court in India to take up any dispute pertaining to the Waqf board because the Waqf tribunals are considered as civil courts. वक्फ ट्रिब्यूनल को सिविल कोर्ट की आपने आस्था दे रखी है। आप कहते हैं हमारा वक्फ ट्रिब्यूनल ही हमारे लिए सिविल कोर्ट है। वी विल नॉट लिसन टू एनी सेशन कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट अंडर द लॉ ऑफ द लैंड ऑफ इंडिया।
संजू वर्मा, you actually have stated the factual position. There have been challenges and you know how that has gone. We all know. And Hassan Sahab will keep arguing that point. Hassan Sahab, I'm giving you 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you. Please go ahead. I'm saying.
संजू वर्मा ने कहा कि वक्फ ट्रिब्यूनल को चैलेंज नहीं किया जाता, कि देश का सबसे बड़ा झूठ है। जिस तरीके से 15 लाख खाते में नहीं आया, उसी तरह झूठ है। हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चैलेंज किया जा सकता है। इस देश में 14 ट्रिब्यूनल है, मोटर व्हीकल ट्रिब्यूनल है, रेलवे ट्रिब्यूनल है, NGT है। क्यों नेशनल चैनल पे झूठ बोलती है?
ठीक है। The point is, viewers, look, the point is not about whether the Waqf Act can be, no, 1 second, one second, the point is not, viewers, how draconian it is. The point is how, okay, Mr. Hassan, please don't scream over me. I'm not used to this. You want to go to another channel, please go and shout there, take your bhompu and shout. But don't do this every night here, please. I'm going to lower your fader. Don't shout and scream. You made your point. We've heard you, bhai. We are not deaf. Calm down. Have some lihaz for other people also. Just calm down. Hold your horses. I understand you want to outdo the Congress party. The Congress has already dismissed you on this show as an insignificant vote katwa party. What are you saying? You've been
What,
kicked
Reva?
out.
You go and ask
Does the
the
Congress ally with you?
What
No.
he
No.
tells
Does the
about
Congress ally with you, sir? No, they don't. They don't consider you. They don't
Go
take
and
you
check beware
seriously.
in UPA 1, UPA 2.
You're just noise value.
You ask Revant Reddy
You're
sahab.
just noise value. Just shh, calm down. Silence. Okay. Rajat Sethi, let me just bring him in. You see, viewers, we have a fringe party here, the MIM. One MP in parliament. Fringe. Their spokespeople are vile, they abuse, they say all sorts of nasty things, they make polarizing statements, and they think that the Muslim community supports them. Two chaps didn't come, viewers, with armbands and sat next to this person from civil society. Only Asaduddin Owaisi's party apartchik sat with him. Nobody else. 90% of the MIM can't win a municipal corporation election. Viewers, that is the scene, the real scene. How many people won on MIM tickets from Delhi, viewers? From Muslim constituencies, zero. These chaps. And who did they field? Rioters. This lot. No wonder the Congress also doesn't want to stand with you. Anyhow, let me just bring in Rajat Sethi. Rajat Sethi, look, you know, we have the Ashutosh Mishras of the world who have kept this mainstream and said, don't talk to the MIM, they are just useless people. You will have the left also say exactly the same thing. I'll come to the left, but Rajat Sethi, just explain to us. I can't understand one thing. These secular parties are committed to Muslim welfare. Why are you standing? Why are these secular parties standing in the way of Muslim welfare?
Well, Rahul, I have patiently heard everybody here. Now, let me point out a few things. First and most important thing is, are the underprivileged community or the sections within the broader Islamic umbrella in our country. Waqf property, Waqf Act currently has 10 lakh acre worth of land / buildings, etc. under their control. Still, the poor Muslims have to go on to the streets to pray and do namaz even on the day of Eid. Isn't it pitiful? Which any of these top thekedars of Islamic community here, do they go out on the streets and sit and do namaz? Of course not. They have these fancy masjids which they have built as their personal fiefdoms. They go there. It is the poor Muslims who suffer. Poor Muslims, if you open up the locks of these 10 lakh acres worth of land, wouldn't it benefit the common Muslim community of our country?
Yes.
100% it will. The first thing that you should be doing is, instead of putting out these black bands, which coincidentally you're not even wearing, because I'm also sure that logically speaking, you find this as just a charade or just a show for media and you don't take it seriously, sir. I can honestly tell you, if you really want to work for your own community, open up the locks of each of these Waqf property. Let us see how you can actually utilize whatever is already in your control. The problem is not that. Rahul, the real problem is that there are a bunch of thekedars of this community who tell these people when to riot, when to come out and pelt stones, what to do, what act to support and what act to not support. We all remember the Shaheen Bagh days. Nobody understands and has iota of understanding of the law of the land. Anybody you pick randomly who has put up a black band, ask them these questions. Can you come out and explain what is there in the new bill that is coming out? I can guarantee that not even one will be able to come out even with a single instance of what is there.
Let me ask that same question of Vivek Srivastava. He hasn't even seen the bill. No one has seen the bill, but they have an opinion on the bill. Anyhow, that's now, default setting of all these political parties. But let me ask you, Vivek Srivastava, is the Catholic Church, the head of it, a liar? And is Chishti Sahab, Haji Sayyid Salman Chishti, a liar? Are they liars? Simple question.
Maybe not, but Chishti is just one man in a huge country of
1 second. One second. You said maybe not. That means they are not liars.
Yes.
So what is their interest to make a fool?
No, I'm not saying
no,
it
1
because
second. Srivastav ji, what is take the logical point forward. Let's take the logic forward.
There is always a difference of
Let me ask you. What is the interest of Mr. Chishti to lie to his community, or mislead its community, or the church head to mislead their community? I want to ask you, sir.
I do not know. Maybe some personal problems, some pressure from the government, and he just buckled down. We have the Ajit Pawars in this country.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's very common today. The BJP does it every time.
So, you're
And let me
saying
tell
that
you
the
one more
Haji
thing.
is corrupt,
Sanju
that
Verma,
he is corrupt and he has
yeah.
something to hide. That's what you're saying. And
I
so
do
is
not know
so is the church head.
I do not know if he is corrupt or not.
No, then what are you saying?
No, he
No,
may
how
or may
can you
not be
just
corrupt,
pass a
but they are
reference that
definitely
he's
under
corrupt,
pressure.
he's under
They
pressure,
are under pressure.
or he's under... What
They are
kind of
they are
pressure
under
is he
pressure.
under? Why should he be under pressure? Is he a weak person? Does he
Because
lack
why
courage?
don't you?
No, I'm asking you, do they lack courage? Do they lack less
Why
courage
don't you question
than
the Imam of the-
AIMM?
No, hold on. Maybe yes.
Maybe yes.
Maybe yes,
Okay.
they have less courage. If they are not standing with the community,
Okay.
if they are not standing with their community, they have less courage.
Okay, they have less
Mr.
courage.
Chishti should have stood with his community right now.
Right. Should have,
And I'll
but
tell you
didn't
one thing,
because he
Rahul.
knows the
There
facts
have been
and he knows
amendments
that
in
you are
the-
lying as usual. Okay, fair enough. At least he has the courage of
No,
conviction,
no.
my dear man,
I'm not lying
which you
as
have
usual.
abandoned.
No, he has no courage of conviction. He is simply ditching his community, maybe for some personal good, I do not know.
Wow.
He is not standing with his own people.
Right.
When he knows every Waqf board land is going to be taken over by the Sanghis, when they
Including
use
his
the
own.
district collector, the district magistrates for their own benefits.
So he wants to shoot
For
himself
their
in
own
the
benefits.
foot. He wants
And
to
it is a
also have
land
no
game.
fief.
It's a
The
land
church
game.
also wants. Okay, now viewers,
No,
look at
and
the
on the
ridiculous
national TV,
logic
and by the
applied here. So hang on. Look at the ridiculous logic being applied here by the great Mr. Srivastava. He
What is
says,
ridiculous
no,
about
one
it?
second. Just think about it, viewers. A man is standing with the government
Yeah.
because he knows that the bill that is going to be passed, the amendment bill, will result in
No,
Muslims.
no. He's
Hang
under
on,
pressure.
losing all their Waqf
He's under
properties,
pressure
including
for
his own. What is he gaining out of this, viewers? Nothing. Neither is he
Maybe
gaining
not
the
his
goodwill
own,
of his
maybe not his
community,
own,
and
maybe
also
not
he
his
ends
own.
up losing his fief.
Maybe not his own.
I mean, this is really absolutely
Maybe not his
absurd.
own.
You see, viewers, this is a problem. This is a problem tonight. They have no cogent answers. One guy is talking about, you see, how it will lead to the disenfranchisement of Muslims, when Sachar Committee himself said that the time has come to amend this Act of Parliament. And when Modi wants to do it, Sachar and Modi are not contemporaries, viewers. When Modi wants to do it, let's oppose it. Sanju Verma, very quickly, I just want to ask you this. How sure is the BJP that some of its alliance partners, the secular ones, are on board with it? Because there's a lot of talk that perhaps the bill may not come in the next 3 days. It might get deferred to after Bihar elections. Are you confident you have the numbers? Very quickly, there's consensus?
Rahul, I think once Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, has spoken and said very categorically that in this session itself,
Okay.
we will ensure that the Waqf Amendment Bill is passed and it is brought to fruition, then I think there should be no iota of doubt on anyone's mind, because the powers that we have displayed their conviction to see it through and to not, leave it in limbo. And I just want to end by saying one simple thing, that, show me another community which says that large parts of Pune and Parbhani are ours. Show me a community which says that entire Bet Dwarka island is ours. And Islam is 1400 years old but claims the 2000-year-old Sundareshwara temple on the banks of Kaveri River. They claim Eden Gardens is there. They claim that the Parliament building is there.
Okay.
They claim Indira Gandhi International Airport is there.
Okay.
They claim that,
have to
the
prove it
army
in the court.
headquarters
Don't try to
at
mislead
Rajouri
the
and
people.
Poonch are there. They claim that railway station.
They even claim Parliament and Supreme Court.
You
They
just
even
want to
claim
use
Parliament
the
and
land
Supreme
of
Court. Now, viewers, just a minute. I just want to say, we haven't even got to that part of this debate. We are just talking about Muslim welfare, reforming the Waqf board so it's streamlined so that the properties can be used, as Mr. Sachar said, to generate income that can be plowed back to the Muslim community. We haven't even got to the point where the bill is so draconian that it elevates the rights of one community and privileges them above every other community in a secular country. We haven't even gone there.
No, it doesn't.
And I don't even want to go there.
It doesn't.
I don't even want to go there, viewers.
No, go there. Why don't you go there?
I'll tell you
Why
why.
don't you go there?
Because for 75
But
years,
you are
sir,
not
for
told you-
75 years,
told you that in
Hindus,
the tribunal
Hindus,
there is a
sir,
sitting
like
High Court
yourself,
judge.
Hindus like yourself don't even have
There
the
is a
right
sitting
to
High
claim
Court judge
over
from
their
the
own
State High
temples.
Court in
So
the
let alone
tribunal.
anything else. I need to move on because, viewers, I'll tell you something. In my book, the act should be scrapped, abrogated completely. None of this halfway house, amend this act and all that. Just scrap it. Get rid of it. We won't even be having this debate. No other community has an act like this in this country. So I would go really that far, but fine, maybe it's not the time for that, this, that, the other. I'm not a politician. I don't want to be responsible for pushing the country in a direction of anarchy, etc. Maybe the government says in step we'll do it. That's up to them. But viewers, in my opinion, scrap it. There's not even a debate after that. Let's move on because there is something that we must talk about tonight as a society, and this is very, very important. And this is not your run-of-the-mill Hindu-Muslim debate, viewers. So don't fall for all those other journalists who don't want to do these topics by saying, oh, these are Hindu-Muslim issues. No, viewers, this is about identity. Ram Navami is in the eye of a hate storm again. Like the last few years, once again, processions by Ram Bhakts have been targeted from Bihar to Maharashtra. The reasons are the same. Jai Shri Ram was chanted outside a mosque as the procession made its way, or because procession passed by an area where Muslims are in the majority. Frankly, the reasons don't even matter. Whatever the provocation, let's say the Hindus provoked. Let's for a moment assume that the villains are Hindus. Despite the provocation, irrespective of the provocation, does it mean, viewers, because a provocation, even a grave one, can become an excuse to take the law into your own hands? No, viewers, there is no justification. There is a place for grievance redressal. There is a system also in place for grievance redressal. The place, viewers, is the police station and the courts. The system is the penal code. So file a case under the penal code if you believe that one community is being extremely provocative, hateful, etc. Take them to the cleaners. Take them to the courts. Have police cases, let these people be jailed. But don't take the law into your own hands. So the question then is why? Why, viewers, Ram Navami processions triggering a community to resort to violence? The answer lies in the slow and steady villainization of the cult of Ram in this country. In recent years, a troubling trend has emerged where Ram incantations, hailing Lord Ram, literature associated with Ram and his ideas, and even Ram Bhakts themselves are increasingly demonized in political and media narratives. What was once a symbol of devotion, righteousness and cultural heritage is now often portrayed selectively as communal, aggressive or politically motivated. Even the newly constructed Ram temple was dismissed as a tainted homage to Lord Ram. The Ram Janam Bhoomi movement, which sought to reclaim the birthplace of Lord Ram, was a pivotal moment in India's history. However, instead of being recognized as a movement of faith, several political parties and leftist intellectuals framed it as a symbol of religious extremism. Now, viewers, I'll be very honest. No one can justify the demolition of the Babri Masjid. Even L.K. Advani apologized. But then why conveniently overlook the fact that hundreds of mosques have also been constructed atop desecrated Hindu places of worship and are therefore equally maligned? But beyond the Ram temple movement, here are some examples of how the very idea of Ram and his bhakti have been undermined. And let me walk you through these, viewers. The hard facts as always. These are not my words either. These are the words of politicians, leading chief ministers. Jai Shri Ram is a war cry, in 2019 said Mamata Banerjee. Look at how Ram cried when Sita was taken away. Ram was scared, unquote, says one of her party colleagues, Kalyan Banerjee, in 2021. Ram Bhakts are looters, Akhilesh Yadav says in 2021. Rahul Gandhi has distinguished between real Hindus and RSS Hindus, indirectly questioning the legitimacy of Ram Bhakts associated with the BJP or the RSS. Thereby, viewers, anyone, any Ram Bhakt, invoking the name of Lord Ram is immediately associated with the Sangh or the BJP. Another said there is no historical evidence to establish the existence of Lord Ram. This is a Congress affidavit in the Supreme Court. It was withdrawn later after outcry. Would they say this about any other faith? Would they ask Christians to give a certificate as to where Jesus Christ was born, or any other community, viewers? Because naming any other community can also mean death. So I'm not naming. I have surrendered. Who is Ram? In which engineering college did he study to build a bridge? Unquote. DMK leader M. Karunanidhi. I challenge these people, viewers, and their successors to ask this question of another community. Quote, Jai Shri Ram chants are goon slogans, unquote. Shiv Sena 2021. Crores of people have either not read or do not read Ramcharitmanas. All this is rubbish. This was written by Tulsidas for his own happiness, unquote. Would they dare say this about the text of any other faith, viewers? Would those people, and let me just point you in the direction of the Shiv Sena, the UBT Shiv Sena. Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram chants are goon slogans. Viewers, there are people in this world who blow themselves up invoking a particular religious slogan. Would they say that slogan is associated with terror? No, viewers, they would not. This steady degradation of the ideals of Ram or rituals associated with Ram not only distort history but also make Ram Bhakts vulnerable to hatred, discrimination and even violence. That's why this is happening, unprovoked. They see a Ram Bhakt, you know what happened to the Palghar Sadhus, viewers. There's an immediate stigmatization. And these are some big questions which I'm going to pose to the panel tonight. And let's open this up, viewers. Let's not delay. Let's open this up. Let's get some straight answers, because I put the hard facts out and I want people to respond to them. And I want to begin first with Rajat tonight. And of course, Mr. Gupta, senior journalist from the Swarajya magazine. Rajat, I want to ask you a question. Have we come to the point where this constant vilification, stigmatization of Ram Bhakts has made them vulnerable to hate attacks?
100%, Rahul. The way it has been normalized in several states in our country is alarming, to say the least. You do this community-wide generalization and painting one community as if, they are responsible for some evil force. You do that, you try doing that against any other community around the world, and you see what reactions would be there. It is only because we as a community are not united that we are not able to fight back against this gross injustice that is being, perpetuated by these regional fronts who are there, who survive on certain vote banks and who will ensure that they will go to any extent to vilifying the main community of this country. You flip the situation. Had there been Muslims in majority in this country, can you imagine? The things would have gone way past vilification. We would have been living at the mercy of the other community. And this is the main point. This country stays united only because of its main majority religion, which is Hinduism, and the tolerance which is inbuilt in our religion. There is no two doubts about it. There are no shades of this truth. It is as black and white as it can get. And leaders like Stalin, leaders like Mamata Banerjee will face the wrath someday of the same public when their eyes will be open. Their eyes are shut for some reason. They are divided on some lines, and they feel as if they are, they belong to this global elite when they start vilifying Hinduism for some God-forsaken reason, which I don't get. But I'm telling you this fact. Time is, passing by. Things are reaching to a tipping point. I have myself campaigned in states where I have seen states after states in the Northeast. The complete demography has changed, and it's very hard to even carry on fundamental rights that are bestowed on the Hindu majority community also, to peacefully take out processions. Every single year, this has become an issue which is the flashpoint in the state of West Bengal.
Okay, why is it that the government never rises up to the occasion? Even if Ram Bhakts are walking past a mosque and doing provocative things, we cannot have an equal and opposite kind of logic reaction, because that's the road to anarchy. Professor Mondal, I believe that your party once criticized, let's say, the Modi government in Gujarat for, and this was also a fiction, viewers, not that Mr. Modi ever said this, but they implied that he said that an eye for an eye, that every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. Today I want to ask you, sir, what provocation can lead to Muslims beating up 12-year-old children? Why should it be the case, sir? Professor Mondal. Second question I need to ask you. I want to ask you, can the mere chanting of Jai Shri Ram be an invitation to violence, to thuggery?
You, as a majority community, as a big brother of a particular community, it's your duty to protect them. Similarly, the minorities in this country must understand that they are one and united as far as the idea of India is concerned. There is no denying the fact that even if someone is taking law into their hand, that person must be booked under appropriate law. But where on earth these Ram Bhakt, quote unquote Ram Bhakt, they remain restrained. They don't remain restrained. They deliberately provoke. They deliberately provoke when thousands and lakhs of devotees of a particular religion, they are celebrating a month of their holy Ramjan. It's a duty, responsibility of the majority community to understand that. Because in our religion, Hindu religion, I'm proud Hindu, we celebrate every 3-4 days and we have right to do so. Are we disturbed by the Muslim brothers? The answer is clear, no. Durga Puja went on for 7 to 10 days. Are we disturbed by the Muslim brothers?
Sir,
the answer is no.
Sir,
Saraswati Puja happens for 3-4 days.
Sir,
nobody disturbs us. We believe in a kind of
Professor,
which is
Professor,
deliberately disturbed.
No, Professor. Even if I agree with you, even if I say there is a deliberate attempt. No, 1 second. Even if there is a deliberate attempt, fair enough. Okay, there's a deliberate attempt. Okay, does that need to lead to violence from the other side? Just say yes or no.
When the Prime Minister of this country deliberately provokes by saying that kapra
so viewers, hang on. Now see viewers. Okay, now so viewers, hang on. As if Mamata Banerjee doesn't provoke by saying Jai Shri Ram is a war cry. Will she say that about the war cry? No, one second. Will she? Will she append the? 1 second, sir. Will she append the phrase? Professor Mondol, will she append the phrase war cry to another incantation that is uttered when acts of Islamist terror are carried out? No, she will not do it, viewers. She will not do it because she will lose an election. She will lose her power. She will have a problem, and viewers, people will come out onto the street shouting Sartan se juda slogans. So there will be a problem. There will be a monumental problem. So Mamata Banerjee will never dare to say the things she says, taking advantage of the pacificity of Hindus. She would never say that about any other community. I can write it in blood today, viewers. Anyhow, let me bring in Sanju Verma to respond to you. Okay. So the logic tonight, Sanju Verma, is this. If someone provokes you, they're provoking out of a sense of deliberation, whatever, hatred, whatever, give it back to them in equal measure. How do you respond to this crazy logic? Crazy logic.
Rahul,
yes.
Why is Professor Mandal so rattled? I didn't interject now, please. Please don't heckle Mr. Mandal, please.
Ram Bhakts are looters, viewers. This is what is being said about Ram Bhakts in this country by mainstream politicians who have been chief ministers. Will they say this about the faithful of any other community? No. Yes, Sanju Verma, go ahead.
Thank you. Rahul, first and foremost,
I'll have to lower your fader,
Mr.
Professor
Mandal, please hold your horses, calm down.
I'm bringing in Sanju Verma now. Let's please. Yeah.
Rahul, first and foremost, let me tell you one thing very clearly. You do not need to be an Islamophobe to be a proud Hindu. I'm a proud and practicing Hindu. I'm not Islamophobic, but I think Rajat is so right when he says that today we are a vibrant democracy because the majority community is Hindu. We are 80% Hindu. Imagine if you flip the coin, if you flip the sides, if you flip the situation, I shudder to think what the end result would be. And let me remind Mr. Mandal, your viewers also need to listen to this. 2016 Malda riots, 2017 Bhaduria riots, 2018 Asansol riots under Mamata Banerjee's incompetent long nose, 2019 Jadavpur riots, 2021 Sipatulchi riots, 2022 Birbhum riots, 2023 post-poll panchayat violence, and now more recently again Jadavpur riots. Do you know what? It has always been the Hindu community which has been at the receiving end, and the other side has, under the garb of being people who are victims, have actually engaged in what is a one-sided terror and trauma that has been unleashed on the Hindus of Bengal, where they can't celebrate Durga Puja, they can't celebrate Ram Navami, they can't celebrate Hanuman Jayanti, they can't celebrate Saraswati Puja. I know that beat Murshidabad, Howrah, Hooghly, North 24 Parganas, Bardwan, Birbhum. Mamata Banerjee has the audacity to say these are Muslim areas.
Okay,
so
Muslim area.
Do not celebrate Ram Navami in Murshidabad. Do not celebrate Ram Navami in Howrah. Do not celebrate Ram Navami in Hooghly. Why not? I say why not?
known for
Why
spreading.
not?
Okay. Let's not shout over each other. Okay, Mr.
Is
Professor.
Bardhaman not a part of India? Is Birbhum not a part
Yes,
of India?
these are important
Is
points.
24 Parganas
I
not
agree
a
with
part
you.
of India?
I have to ask a question. You see, viewers, look at this provocation argument, and let me bring in Mr. Gupta here. Mr. Gupta, look at this provocation argument. Mr. Gawande is also there with us, and I have a question for him also. Mr. Gupta, now Hindus were victims in Kashmir. What greater provocation than a genocide? What happened? Hindus sucked it up, viewers. They said, okay, forget it. They turned the other cheek. They used the law let them down. When it came to their own places of worship, Mr. Gupta, they approached the courts. Can we go by this? Eye for an eye.
Good evening, Rahul. I would like to read out a quote from a book that was written more than 6 decades ago, and it was written just in the wake of Indian independence by a prime minister to its chief ministers. This is a quote directly from a prime minister who's speaking to his chief ministers. It must be recognized that Muslims in India cannot, in the nature of things, adopt aggressive attitudes. Individuals may do so occasionally, small groups, but conditions in India are such, and their numbers are relatively so small that any attempt at any aggressive action would recoil on them. It is only when they become afraid that desperation seizes them, and then they may act wrongly and aggressively. This fact has to be kept in mind, because without realizing that we shall fail to act correctly or take proper measures, basically the responsibility for communal peace rests on the majority community, that is the Hindus. If there is a breach of this peace, I would start with the presumption that it has been caused by the Hindu communal groups. This is what Nehru wrote to his chief ministers between 1947 and 1953, Rahul. Now, in India, it's a diverse country. There is a part where there is a majority, that is the Hindus, and there is a minority, the Muslims. The Hindus are expected to be accommodating towards the Muslims. Nothing wrong about that. But there are a few pockets where the minority becomes the majority and the majority becomes the minority. The Hindus and the Muslims change their roles when it comes to numbers. Why are the Muslims then not as accommodating as the Hindus are in other areas? Precisely the logic Rajat brought up. Why is it that every year, whenever a Ram Navami procession comes up, whenever a Hindu festival comes up, be it the crackers during Diwali, be it the colors during Holi, be it a procession during Ram Navami, some stones are pelted, but only in certain pockets of the country. Where does the secularism go? Okay. The most abused term in the Indian constitution is secularism, which talks about one-sided. It's very selective, Rahul.
It's very selective.
Where does it go
understand, and that's the point I began. I think you made a very, very strong argument by just quoting a former prime minister of this country. It tells us everything. Mr. Gawande, I want to ask you, your party has been backing the right to hold namaz on the streets. No problems, okay, fine, you back that. But when you were in government, when your party was in government, United Party, in the MVA, a NDA MP was hounded legally, and so was her husband, for reciting the Hanuman Chalisa. Why, sir? Why this disparity? Can you explain?
Rahul, to start off with, I want to tell you that I'm proud to be a part of an India where I can celebrate Gudi Padwa at home yesterday and a belated Cheti Chand today and have an Eid dinner tonight with food from Sri Datta Bhuvan from Islampur. So that's the India I grew up in. That's the India I still belong to. And that's the India me and my party have striven to uphold. When you bring up instances of why a certain MP and her husband were asked not to recite the Hanuman Chalisa or hounded, or why certain instances took place, let's first figure out the intent behind these measures, right?
No,
I am very appreciative.
One second. When hang on. Then you take a position. A government. No, one second. Mr. Gawande, very quickly. The government says one particular government in this state, a state government said, and in fact even the Maharashtra government wanted to follow suit, that you cannot hold namaz on the streets. It's a public nuisance. That's what they said. Then say that this should also be, and then people said, no, we are going to do it. We are going to defy. A Samajwadi Party leader from your state says we are going to break the law, we are going to occupy the street, then apply the same principle.
Rahul, whether or not namaz can be held on the streets is a matter for the civic administration and the BMC to decide, not national television.
Okay.
The
So this is the party, viewers. Now this response is coming from a party. One second, viewers. You heard Mr. Gawande talk about the Hindu. No, one second. One second. This syncretic culture. One second, Mr. Gawande. Let me ask you. You talked about this syncretic culture that you respect. Why are you allying with the UBT Shiv Sena that brought down the Babri Masjid?
The UBT, Shiv Sena and the NCP, SP are in an alliance on a common minimum program that is defined
so common and so minimum, viewers, they've thrown their principles out into the garbage bin.
These are not issues to be debated.
So common and so minimum. You see, viewers, this is the problem. This selectivity is the problem, and you can go around the bush with Mr. Gawande tonight. He is going to spin us and spin us, but not answer the simple and straightforward question. One community has a right, they'll back that right. Fine, okay. But the other community must be denied that right. I'm going to ask him a question. Should one of your other allies have said, Jai Shri Ram is a war cry? Should she have said it? Yes or no?
You might ask that alliance partner.
You must ask. We are not going to ask the alliance partner, but we will do business with that alliance partner.
I don't think this debate.
You see, viewers, here it is. Here it is. No courage of conviction. No conviction. We had a common minimum program. That's it. The common program, viewers, is let's target Ram Bhaks. The minimum we can expect is that they don't go too far. That's what's happening. I leave it at this.
Presented by